Hey, Emily, did you know that your porn name is just your automated generic Wi-Fi password?
Yeah, mine would be Smooth Tomato. What's yours?
Smooth Tomato. You would have to paint your whole body red for every scene. And also, the bush is gonna have to go.
Can I not just, dye it?
No, it's a Smooth Tomato. I don't know. Mine's Silky Lightning, which is, so perfect.
Yeah, no, that is just genuinely a very good porn name.
What's the one that's, your first pet in the street you grew up on?
Crystal Union?
Crystal Union! She's a star for the people. Crystal Union.
What's yours?
That's really good.
Was your first pet the guinea pig?
No, my first pet was a fish named Lucy, and I named her after Lucy Hale, who is now Pretty Little Liars fame, but she was on American Idol Junior.
Interesting,
and
okay.
That aired in 2003 or something, and I was 5, and I was a big fan of Lucy from American Idol Junior, so I named my fish after her. The fish lived for 5 years, and I'm convinced that me naming that fish is why her career took off. Because now she's in Pretty Little Liars, and now she's big Lucy Hill famous.
Yeah, wasn't she the one that dated the one famous person from our area?
Yes.
Joel Krause?
Joel Krause is a country singer who went to our high school.
Yeah.
And he comes back and gives these free concerts, and he's not that good. But they're like, oh my god, a local celebrity!
Yeah. He's decent.
But mine is Lucy Asnabumskit. So... definitely redneck.
Yeah, I was gonna say
ass in the bum skit.
Lucy's only wearing a cowboy hat for the entirety of the video. So that was not at all.
Yeah, this was supposed to be our microphone test, but I think we should just keep it because I was originally gonna sing for our intro, but I can't really sing too good, and also copyright infringement is a real thing.
Yeah, we're really scared about that.
Out there, if you don't use materials correctly, you can go to prison for copyright. No, can you?
You get slapped with a huge fine.
Yeah, we don't even have enough money to pay our intern Jen.
Yeah.
So
we definitely can't pay for
are not
copyright infringement.
Gonna sing the song "Heaven Is a Place on Earth" by whatever group sings that song from the 80s. But if you could guess, which you probably couldn't, based on this completely irrelevant opening conversation, today we're going to be talking about the 2016
Black Mirror
Black Mirror episode San Junipero, which by a technicality is not a movie.
Yeah.
And we are a movie podcast, and some people could be like, that's a TV show episode. That's not what I signed up for. Go fuck yourself.
Here's my thing, is that the episode itself, and I haven't checked if any of the other episodes are on Letterboxd, but the episode itself is on Letterboxd.
It's on IMDb as well.
If it's on Letterboxd, then I will count it as a movie, because that's just how I don't know, my standard.
Yeah, I don't really think awards hold that much power, but I would justify this being a movie because it did win the Primetime Emmy for Best TV Movie.
Really?
So,
wow.
The movie made for television or whatever, it won for that. So, it also won for Best Screenplay for a TV movie or a limited series.
Interesting.
So, Black Mirror is a limited series, but also, I guess, in this case, was kind of considered to be a TV movie type. It is an hour.
Yeah.
It would be a very short movie, but... we're going to pick it because this month we're doing Pride Month. We're kind of focused, mostly we tried to pick all movies about women relationships. Yeah. That was just kind of what we ended up going with. And this was one that we felt like was A, too good to leave out of the mix. And B, I'm not going to say the best representation out of everything that's available, but it's better than Carol, you know?
It's better than every other, women-loving women movie that is just two white ladies in, a period piece.
Yeah, which is,
Which this is... I mean, could this be considered a period piece? They jump through a couple of different periods.
Yeah, I'd say, a sci-fi commentary period. Is the 80s a period piece? Do we call The Breakfast Club a period piece now? Well, that was just... It was just made then, but...
Yeah, I don't know.
I feel
like you could debate it.
I guess it's a period piece. but at least this is the one we've done so far that they're both not white. So that's, woo! Big old pat on the back.
They're both not white?
Oh, no, one of them's not white. At least, yeah, I mean, they're both...
I was gonna say, I was like, did I miss something?
I mean, both of them, in everything else we've watched, they're both white.
Yeah.
And in this one, at least they're not both white.
Yeah. Okay,
got it.
Yeah. I get what you're saying, yeah.
But so San Junipero was in season 3 of Black Mirror. If you don't know, Black Mirror is an anthology series. Originally, it was a British TV show, but then this third season, it got picked up by Netflix, and I think now there's 5 seasons and a movie. I'm gonna say 5 seasons. You look skeptical.
No, I think you're right.
But it got picked up, so now I don't think they call it a Netflix original, but it's technically, like, funded and produced by Netflix.
Yeah. It's Netflix's little
But every
joint.
episode is a different thing, so it's like anthology series, each episode is not in any way related. It's thematically kind of similar, but they're never the same characters, never the same situations.
There's a huge focus on technology.
Yeah, the whole thing is about, like, technology, good or bad? Probably bad.
I think that's my favorite way that someone summed up Black Mirror.
Yeah, but Black Mirror, technology, kind of scary.
It's like a really complex thing, and you're like, technology? Probably bad.
Probably bad, probably evil. But so this is actually one of the only Black Mirror episodes that isn't, like, horribly depressing and frightening and, like, makes you feel... like, scared about the future.
Yeah, you seemed really shocked because I told you that I didn't watch very much Black Mirror. I've only watched, like, a handful of episodes. But the reason for that is because I feel so icky after watching them.
Yeah. Well, especially, I would say, if anybody out there has never watched Black Mirror and you're interested in giving it a try, Season 1, Episode 1 is not the place to start. I don't know why they did this, maybe just because they're like, we're gonna be shocking or whatever, but they include literal bestiality on the screen for minutes and minutes and minutes.
Oh my god.
In the first episode. And I mean, I guess I'm not gonna spoil anything, but I guess I already kind of told you that, but it's so gross, and I think it turned so many people off from the show that they were just like, this is fucking disgusting, I'm not watching this, when in actuality, even season 1, episode 2, so fucking good. So I would say just skip the first episode. You don't have to watch anything in order or whatever. If you Google, like, best episodes ranked or whatever, honestly, I would say this one would be a really good place to start. I think it's season 3, episode, 4 or something.
Yeah, it's a light way to ease into it, which is nice.
But if you're new to Black Mirror, I would just say the big warning is don't start on the first episode of the first season. Yeah. And even I personally, like, wish I had known a little bit better going into it what I was gonna watch. So you might want to look up, like, some, like, triggers or content warnings.
Yeah. What's that? That Does the Dog Die?
Yes, doesthedogdie.com I really like it. It's not just about if the dog dies in a piece of media, but it's just for, like, general things that could probably be upsetting. So you put in the piece, I think it's, like, TV shows, movies, I think even books, maybe just, like, general works of media, and you put in the name of it, and then it has a big list, generally spoiler-free, I would say, about things that might be, like, upsetting. If you're like, yeah, I don't want to watch a movie with on-screen rape, like, that's very reasonable, but that isn't always advertised.
Yeah.
You know, obviously it's not going to be, and a lot of the times they don't put content warnings at the beginnings of movies and stuff, and it can be kind of hard to find spoiler-free. I don't know, but so I think this website is pretty good. You just put the thing in, you go through the list, you're like, I don't like spiders, I don't want to see a spider movie. Spider-Man, big old X next to the spider, and you're like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Not that you wouldn't be smart enough to figure that out by yourself, but yeah, season 1, episode 1, Black Mirror, not the place to start. I would say start with this one. It's good. And then come back and listen to this episode where we'll talk about it.
Yeah, because this podcast is not spoiler-free. We're here to ruin the entire thing if you haven't seen it already.
Oh, also, this is The Swamp. We haven't said the name of the show. Hi, we're The Swamp. The Swamp is an acronym.
Stands for some whack-ass movie podcasting.
My name is Dara.
I'm Emily.
This is the first time we do our names. I think we got to really work on intros.
Yeah. No. I'll just stay anonymous.
We're like 10 minutes in and we just introduced the show.
They should know us by now.
Yeah.
But if you don't know us, welcome.
Yeah.
We're glad to have you.
Yeah, we're so happy. We're doing Pride Month this month. We're doing all we're doing all Pride movies, and this is not a movie, but we're going to talk about it anyways.
Yeah, so should we do a quick rundown? I feel like with more complex storylines, we tend to flop.
Yeah. And I would say, though, that this is, like, it's kind of tough, because like most Black Mirror episodes, you do your first watch through, and there's always the twist, like, quote-unquote, the twist. And they really keep their cards close to their chest, the writers of this show do, and then they, like, will slowly kind of flash them to you, like, a little bit, like, ooh, here's a little foreshadowing, and you're like, I'm not gonna pick that up the first time, it's a passing comment a bartender made, like, obviously not. And then they reveal the big twist to you, and then there's usually, like, a second or a third twist, so by the end of the episode, things are happening that you would have zero way of knowing at the beginning, basically. And so then it's all about, for me, the second watch.
Yeah.
Because now that you know what's going to happen and you know the big twist, you watch it again and you see it in a completely different way. Every conversation is different. You get the context, you get the layering. Like, this one, I think, in particular, the first, I'm going to say, like, half or more is a completely different experience watching it once you know what's going to happen.
In that way, it reminds me a lot of Midsummer.
Yeah.
Because I can watch that, like, 5 times and still pick up on new things. And I think this one, maybe not to that same extent, but does a lot of that as well. But
I think, like, a generic summary, but then I think once you get the twist, you'll kind of get some of the earlier implications. I don't know.
Our main protagonists are Yorkie and Kelly. What's her name? And they're in what I think is the 80s, but they made it a little bit... Sorry, Dara's having a hard time with her drink right now.
Like, we'll get to later where we talk about our drink and snack pairings, but I'll just
We tried something new today.
I am trying to power through this cocktail right now, and it is not.
Tough.
It is a struggle. And this is even after I've added something to try to make it better, and it's... okay.
Yeah. So our two main protagonists, Yorkie and Kelly, they're in what I think is the 80s, but they made it a little tough, because at one point they jump around.
Yeah, it is these sort of, like, generalized... decade, like, quote-unquote, like, decade eras, because you can't say it's a specific year, I don't think, because they're just trying to encapsulate the 80s. They're there for the
vibe.
Yeah, it's the 80s vibe, basically. Where I bet if you got down to the technicalities, there would be some things in there, like, that video game didn't actually come out until 1993. Oh, that song really came out in the 70s, not the 80s, you know what I mean? So, once you realize that it's all a simulation, you get that they're kind of, like... just mashing things together for the vibe.
Yeah. So to let you in on the secret is that the whole thing is a simulation. They're not actually in the 80s. Yorkie and Kelly are actually like old women. And the simulation is pretty much this place called San Junipero. To me, it was kind of like The Sims.
Yeah.
But, like, your full conscious gets uploaded to this Sims world. Yeah. And no one's controlling you. You're just kind of vibing there. And essentially what San Junipero is that you can cheat death, really, and have your conscience uploaded to this place after you've died.
So you can just fucking vibe as a hot 20-something-year-old for
forever.
Literally eternity.
Yeah.
But people who are old and sick, or maybe just anyone, they didn't really imply whether, like, this is available for everyone, but I think they called it, like, a therapy or whatever for basically people in nursing homes who are, like, immobile or, you know, on their way out the door to kind of, they get to go to San Junipero for a very small amount. It's like a couple hours, 5 hours, once a week. Yeah. Basically, just as a sort of way that they can live their life and feel somewhat normal.
And then, like,
and then go back to... Yeah.
You can also trial run it to see if that's what where they want to end up after they pass on.
Yeah, but they never implied if other people can do it too, you know?
Like, is this open for people that weren't alive in the 80s? Like, if I was, like, myself as a 22-year-old, could I just go back to the 80s right now if I really wanted to?
Like, up to the San Junipero? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Anyways.
I have a lot of these, like, theoretical questions that probably, like, shouldn't be asked type thing. Like, I'm, like, digging a little too deep here.
That's what we're here to do. But so, essentially, Kelly and Yorkie, like, fall in love in San Junipero. And
at first, well, so it's Yorkie's first time ever being there. And she's really nervous, and she's like, I'm gonna have a Coke, and I'm gonna be awkward and stumble around and make big doe eyes at everyone.
Yeah. And Kelly comes just reeling into her life.
And she's like, I'm a hot bisexual, wanna fuck?
Yorkie's thrown off her game immediately.
Yorkie's like, I don't know, I'm a virgin, and I'm engaged to a really nice guy named Greg. And Kelly's basically like, well, that's cool, I get it.
I'll let you go do your thing then.
And then she comes back the next time, and she just stares Kelly the fuck down. Kelly's at the bar, vibing with someone else, dancing, and Yorkie just
staring lasers into the back of this girl's
and
head.
Kelly sees her, and she's like, I see you. And then she just literally 10 feet away from her, just doing nothing, but just making eye contact the whole time. Like, girl, just go over and talk. And then they meet in the bathroom, and she's like, what the fuck is up? Like, what do you want from me? And she's like,
Yorkie's like, tell me what to do.
She's like, I just don't know how to flirt. Like, just tell me, like, how to instigate sex, basically. And so Kelly's like, fine. And then they go and they hook up, and then Yorkie's like, you just deflowered me. And Kelly's like, can you please not be like that? Like
say anything else.
Yeah, like, don't make it weird like that.
And then she makes it weird by looking for her for the next, like, 3 weeks.
Well, because, like, basically they're both like, oh, like, this was a good time. Like, this was nice. Like, nice to meet you, basically. But then Kelly kind of goes off to, like, do her own thing. And Yorkie's like, where the fuck is my wife? Like, where is she? And she looks around for her. And I guess there had been this other guy character who had kind of also been, like,
a similar experience,
stalking around Kelly, who, like, he had been ghosted by her as well. And so they meet each other, and Yorkie's like, have you seen her? And he's like, oh, like, she's ghosting you too? Like, fucking good luck. Then there's a little montage where she goes through all the different decades, and I think this is kind of the first time you're led into, like, oh,
this is a simulation.
Something weird is happening here. Because it says, like, 1 week later, and then it's the 90s, then it's the 2000s, and so...
So eventually Yorkie finds her, and she's like, dude, why are you on my ass? I'm here to have a good time.
Yeah, she's like, yeah, we did not get married. We literally just bumped fronts. Like, I don't owe you anything. Please leave me alone. And Yorkie's like, you're running away from me because you're scared, because you are afraid to feel anything, because we have a connection. Which basically, like, she really could have been misreading that situation. Like, she is right, but she really could have... Kelly could have just been like, nah, girl, like...
It's just not like that.
It was, it's chill, but, like, please leave me alone.
I'm just here to smash.
Yeah. I'm just an old cancerous lady here to smash.
Yeah, but eventually they, like, kind of, like, make up, and they get into something of a relationship, I suppose. They're
gal pals.
Yeah, they're definitely gal pals. But then it's this whole thing of... Yorkie's like, no, you wouldn't want to see me when I was, in my actual, in my actual body or whatever, and,
Kelly's like, try me, bitch.
Yeah, so you're then, for the first time, led into their lives outside of San Junipero, where Kelly has, I think, like, lung cancer or something like that.
Yeah, she said that it spread basically everywhere, so she has the full body cancer. But she's still she walks. Yeah. She's mobile. And I mean, she has hair, maybe it's a wig, but, like, honestly, she looks pretty healthy for somebody who has full body cancer.
Yeah. So Kelly decides she's gonna go visit Yorkie. She gets there, she realizes that Yorkie is fully quadriplegic, and can't communicate or anything like that. She's on, like, a respirator, the whole bit.
Which, all of this could have been taken... I mean, we can get into it later, but all of this could have been just a brief conversation. This bitch fucking traveled miles. Yeah. She took a whole day trip out to find out that Yorkie's a quadriplegic, when this could have just been... She could have been like, yeah, girl, like, we're not going to be able to talk. We're not going to be able to hang out. Yeah. But she's like, no, come meet me.
Like, I get being, like, a little sheepish about, like, sex and things like that. Like, to each their own. But if you're going to be sheepish about the fact that, like, you're fully a quadriplegic... there's no getting around that.
That's, like, fully the most interesting thing about her, though. So she really has to, like...
That's so bad.
She has to, like, maintain the mystery. She's... I'm sorry. But then Kelly goes, and then she realizes that this quote-unquote fiance, Greg, is actually just her nurse.
Yeah.
And that he is marrying her basically as a favor so that she can pass over to live in San Junipero after she dies, because she doesn't have, like, a decision-making power, basically, for herself, and her parents were very religious. She looked pretty old. Do you think her parents are still alive?
That's what I was thinking.
They said
like her parents are really religious and not about it. And
they
I'm like,
said
her
it happened.
parents?
So she's
in her 60-something.
Yeah, she's in her 60s. I guess that's not reasonable to have alive parents, I guess. But I guess they said that the parents were really religious and weren't into the whole
San Junipero.
So he's marrying her because I guess a spouse has higher power than parents, so he's gonna let her do it, which is like really cool. And then Kelly was like, let me steal your thunder. And then she was like, Yorkie, marry me instead.
He's like, okay, tee.
And then they get married so Yorkie can pass over, and Yorkie's like, oh my god, my life is so great. And then Kelly's like, yeah, you think your life is great? My husband and daughter are dead. And basically Yorkie's like, I want you to stay with me here forever. And Kelly's like, no, I just like to visit here as part of my, like, therapy days, or like a cool thing. I get to come here and fuck. But like she was like, I was married to Richard for 49 years and I guess they had a daughter who died pretty young, like she was like in her 30s. And so she was like, oh, we thought it wasn't fair that since our daughter didn't get the chance to have this like eternal life that we shouldn't take it either. So Richard died and didn't take it, so Kelly felt like she shouldn't take it either.
They have this big fight.
But like, she's going. Like, she's going to San Junipero and, like, chilling. So, like, I don't really know if... I guess if you're not going to stay there forever...
She's trying to have a good time.
But she's, like, kind of going against what Richard's whole thing was anyways, right? I don't really know.
I guess.
But in the end...
she just wanted to bone.
In the end, she decides to stay, and her and Yorkie are wives, and they get to ride around in their topless Jeep forever. And that's the whole episode.
I like it because it's one of the very few queer women films that one of them doesn't die.
Yeah, and it's like kind of a happy ending.
Yeah, it's a pretty happy ending.
Depending on your perspective of the situation, it could be considered like happy or just kind of neutral ending. But yeah, nobody's dead. Nobody gets assaulted.
They're young and hot forever.
Yeah, so it could be worse.
Yeah, no. So would you go to San Junipero?
Oh boy, did I know this question was coming. So I think maybe I would do kind of what Kelly was doing. Like, I would go as an old person so I could, like, be young and hot and, like, hang out and stuff. And I think maybe if it had been established for a very long time and all of the people I loved who had died also were there, I would maybe do it, like... I think their whole thing was it was a pretty new technological establishment, like, in their lifetime. Yeah. So a lot of their, like, Kelly said her daughter didn't get to go or whatever. So, like, if you're just kind of the only generation, I guess, to say, it would be kind of way harder of a choice. Because I'm like, if my parents were there, if all my friends were there, if my spouse was there, you know, whatever. I think that would be a very different conversation. But when I'm kind of like, I see Kelly's point of view, where she's like, yeah, like the people I love and who like meant a lot to me in my life aren't here. So that's kind of selfish of me to like live this eternal life of like, I don't know, whatever. But I don't want to be immortal. That's my whole thing. I don't want to fucking live forever. That sounds exhausting. I would maybe try it out.
Yeah.
Because is there, like, a euthanasia center at the San Junipero where you can say, like, unload me from the cloud,
I would like to think so.
Because, like, forever is forever.
Yeah.
You know? I don't want to just... Because she said that there was an example, they called it the quagmire, and it was basically this, like, S&M, like, I don't even know, like, it was, like, a club, kind of, but, like...
It was where all the, like, the freaky people went.
Yeah, everyone was, like, fucking in public and, like, beating the shit out of each other and, like, you know... doing crack, and I don't really know, but she basically used that as an example of, like, those people are doing anything they can to just feel something, because this whole thing is a simulation. So I think after a while, everything being so great would kind of just wear off, and you'd be like, what do I do now? Because do you have a job?
You know how many books I could read?
You would just want to read books forever.
No, not forever.
Maybe for, like, 100 years.
Yeah.
Like, 100 years, maybe.
Yeah. But, like, I feel like I could probably bide my time for, like, a good long while. Like, Kelly had this one line, she was like, do you want to spend forever in a place where nothing matters? And I'm like,
kinda.
Yeah, kinda. That'd, like, be ideal for a while.
Yeah.
You ever have those thoughts when you're like, damn, I miss, like, being a kid and having no responsibilities. Now you're a hot 20-something-year-old and you have no responsibilities.
Yeah. I was wondering if that was what they looked like, because you get to see... You kind of see Yorkie, but she is quadriplegic with a tube in her mouth, so you don't really see her, like, in full, but we get to see Kelly, and it is reasonable to believe that Kelly looks like what she looks like in San Junipero, you know? Like, that is her actual form. Do I have to look like this? Can I go to San Junipero, and can it be like The Sims? Can I build my sim, and can I be whatever the fuck I want, right? Because can I live 100 years... I don't know, like, as a dude, can I then live 100? Can you switch it up? If this technology is possible, can I just be a different person every couple of months? But do I have to be myself genetically? Like, is that part of it? I know that's too big of a question to pose for... so Charlie Brooker is he's the basically, like, the showrunner, but he writes almost all of the episodes. He's, like, the lead writer, and I think he's directed some of them, but he doesn't direct all of them. He didn't direct this one, but he wrote this one, obviously. He's basically, like, the Black Mirror guy. Yeah. And he's pretty down to answer questions. I wouldn't offend him with these ones, though, to be honest. But this one is written by a man, directed by a man.
Interesting.
And it was originally supposed to be a heterosexual couple.
Yeah, I was gonna say, usually when men do it, it's really bad.
Yeah, it's pretty surprising.
Really, really bad.
Pretty surprising how this is not awful, but I guess the first draft was a heterosexual couple, and then I don't know what triggered it specifically for him to make them gay, but I think he said that he thought it added more depth to the story, which I'm like, okay, bro, like, way to just, I don't know.
He's just like, no, the 2-week romance doesn't work for these two, but it does for a lesbian couple.
It does if they're women, yes.
Yeah. He's like, I heard of this thing called U-Haul lesbians. Let me do a little research there, and I'll get back to you.
Right, he, like, stumbled onto that side of Twitter, and he's like, yes, this is going to work.
Yeah. He's, like, learning all new slang. He's like, what's a pillow princess?
Yorkie was clearly the pillow princess in that situation.
I don't know, though, because, Kelly was like, wait, so you've never had sex before? Because that was amazing.
You don't think she was just gassing her up? Because Yorkie was fully like... I'm a virgin and I don't know how to do anything. You have to show me. You have to tell me. I need a how-to manual.
Oh my god.
And I was just like, could you be less hot right now, though?
Right?
I'm like, you're not advertising yourself as a viable sexual partner.
Like if you're a virgin, fine, but don't put that much weight on it. It's not that big of a deal. I mean,
yeah, you could be like, this is my truth.
Yeah.
You might have to walk me through a few things. I'm a little nervous. That's one thing, but to be
she was like whining.
Yeah, she was whining.
She's like sweating. Hands are shaking.
Yeah, I don't know. In that moment, I was like, honestly, if I was Kelly, I also would have ghosted her. I would have been like, yeah, I just gave this girl the ride of her life. She got to live out her lesbian truth.
Uh-huh.
And now I'm gonna dip.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
But then she fucking followed her around everywhere, so... I don't know. I
would be really annoyed if I was Kelly. Like, I'm literally just trying to vibe so hard.
I've just revealed to Emily the 2 huge underboob sweat stains on my shirt. It's like 90 degrees out here today, and it was a very hot day. Oh my God. You do have quite a well air conditioned house, but I will say it is pooling under my melons. Okay. There's no way this is getting better, so I'm just going to accept it.
Where were we?
Basically...
Oh, Kelly ghosting her? Yeah, I would have ghosted her, too.
Yeah, and I didn't really, like...
I don't love a leech. You know what I mean?
Right, like, I'll get back to you when I get back to you.
It takes a lot out of me sometimes to just, like, text a person back, depending. You think I'm just gonna hang out with you like that? Yeah, she was so needy. I gotta shop around. Yeah.
Also, like, she was kind of doing you a favor, Yorkie. Clearly, Kelly is not, like... she doesn't have to look. She has people lined up for her. She's the baddest bitch in San Junipero. She just has it, but...
If I was Yorkie, though, I get it.
Yeah, that other guy, too, like...
I would also risk it all
for Kelly.
For Kelly.
Yeah, that purple, like, Prince jacket.
Right? I was gonna say, she looked just...
She looks like a hot lady prince.
How can I say no?
Right.
I would... Okay, but, like, the thing that really... Not even really pissed me off about Yorkie, but, like, she's got this hot lady prince dragging her on the dance floor, and she's like, I can't dance. Dude, put a little effort in.
Also, everyone around them was dancing so silly. They were just, like, kind of like 80s, like, shaking their, like, jerking their shoulders from side to side. And they all look, she's like, everyone's looking, we're just two girls, and that's just not right. And Kelly's kind of like, nobody fucking cares. Because in reality, I'm sure it's, like, supposed to be, like, 20, 30, whatever. She's like, yeah, people don't really care about that. But since Yorkie has been in a coma since the 80s, probably. Yeah. She kind of thinks, like, gay is not okay. But, like, I'm like, everyone around you looks really silly. Like, nobody's gonna be staring at you because you're a girl. I don't know.
Yeah, if I was Yorkie, though, I would feel so good to be in that position that I could just dance a little silly.
Yeah, right?
Like, I can't fit... If I'm getting on a dance floor, like, here in 2021, not gonna happen. I'll shake my little hips a bit, and that's it. But what I can do is just shimmy my shoulders.
I'll do the Scarlett Johansson in Marriage Story, in her, like, tango
the white girl
class.
moment.
Yeah, just, like, touching my shoulders a lot. She could have gone for that. I think it was implied that she had been a paraplegic for, like, 40 years, and this was her first day using a body. Like,
I was gonna
this
say,
bitch has not walked in 40 years. So maybe she does feel a little weird about dancing, but, like, she kind of looks like a baby deer.
Yeah,
you know?
That's a great way to put it.
Like, she's kind of awkward and gangly and kind of stumbling around, but, like, she's walking. She's drinking a Coke. You know, she has her bearings at least enough to participate in the culture.
Yeah, which is shocking. Because, like, can you imagine?
You haven't walked in 40 years and you're just gonna
some
get
girl's
up?
Like, hey, come rail me.
Well, that's
best case scenario.
I don't really get why she used her engagement as the first excuse. Maybe that was just, like, the easiest thing that came to mind, because she was like, I'm not ready for this, which is reasonable. You just learned how to walk. You're not ready to fuck. But she was like, I'm engaged.
Step 1, walk. Step 2, fuck.
But she is kind of like, no, like, I'm engaged to a really wonderful, nice man named Greg, but I am a lesbian, and I have never had a lesbian moment, and I would like to have that with you, Kelly, but maybe just not the second. And she doesn't even say it that eloquently. Yeah. That was so awkward.
She was just, walking, stumbling over her words, just saying, I can't. Which, like, fine. But
like, I'm gonna need a little bit more from you, you know? And their whole thing, I have said this time and time again, I'm not really here for the 3-week relationship where at the end, they're willing to risk it all. And I'm like, you've been on a date. Like, you've been on you fucked once. Like, are you kidding me? And in this one, I know you can't really develop a fully fleshed out relationship in a single hour.
Yeah.
Because, like, I get it. It's just not feasible. But I'm like, do you, like, yeah, they don't even know anything about each other. Kelly kind of brings that up. She's like, you don't know anything about me, and you haven't really asked. And they're already, she's like, stay here forever with me. Like, forever's a fucking long time, Yorkie. You gotta
give her a minute.
Yeah.
Give her a hot second.
But, yeah, Yorkie's like, clearly, we have a really deep and strong connection, and you're running from me because you're afraid to feel something. And I'm like, damn, that's a bold assumption. Because, basically, you were really awkward, said you wanted to have sex with a woman because that was the thing that you wanted to try to do that you had never done before, and that now you're in San Junipero, where anything can happen, dreams come true. Kelly says, sure, I'll make a wish, you know? We can bone. And it was like, they both said it was nice, but then why did Yorkie think that this was some, like, endgame relationship situation? Because it really, Kelly could have been just like, nah, girl, we cool. But then Yorkie's like, I'm gonna go up to the roof. And, like, at first I'm like, is she gonna jump? But, like, you can't die in San Junipero, so, like...
Not that we know of,
But, so she's, like, up on the roof, like, being moody, and then Kelly's like, you're right, you're the love of my life, and I'm just a little scared. And I'm just like, why? What?
Yeah, it didn't really click for me.
I mean, I liked them together. Like,
yeah.
I think
I enjoyed them as a couple.
Yeah, but I just, like,
it was one of those
it happened so fast that I was like, what the fuck do you know about each other?
If it was a film rather than an hour-long TV show,
I'm sure we would have gotten more.
They could have fleshed it out a lot more, and I think it would have made a lot more sense. But
if I was Yorkie, though, I'd have been like, now that I've dipped my toes in the water,
yeah, right. Where are the rest of the lesbians?
Yeah, San Junipero is your oyster, Yorkie. Go try all the flavors.
Yorkie fully married the first person she fucked.
Well, Kelly was like, that's kind of weird. Like, you're a virgin and you're fully engaged to someone. Like, not that that's completely unreasonable.
No.
Like, that happens to, that's a choice some people make. But it is like, okay, girl, like...
Yeah, well, they're both in their 60s.
Yeah.
At the very least. So I'd say that's the more shocking thing.
Well, there is some sort of implication, because they call each other visitors, meaning, like, I'm alive on Earth somewhere, but I'm just, like, I'm here once a week as part of my, like, little thingy. I'm not, because they call the dead people full-timers, or, like, lifers or whatever. Yeah. And basically, you get to stay all the time once you're dead. So there is some sort of implication that they're both old and on Earth somewhere. So when she's like, I'm a virgin, like... You're 80? What happened? Well, and we find out that it's because she's a quadriplegic, but still,
Kelly didn't really ask very much about it. She was just like, "Oh,
okay." Yeah.
If I was her, I'd be like, "Wait, you need to give me a few more details."
Well, because this is also like the conversation they kind of have when they're deciding to meet each other. They finally start talking about like what they're actually like on Earth or whatever. And she does not, even for a second, reveal a little bit that she is completely immobile. Because Kelly says, like, oh yeah, I'm really sick. They say I only have a few months to live. Like, that's my situation. And Yorkie's kind of like, tee-hee, I'm not telling. Like, what?
Yeah, right. I was like, that's a bit of a big thing to keep a secret, but we've already discussed that.
Yeah.
Should we do... chocolate or vanilla?
Oh, yeah, we can do Jen's chocolate or vanilla. So Jen's not here.
Yeah, we're at my house this week. We usually record at Dara's house.
From basement to basement, we have traveled. Mm-hmm. But Jen texted me. She sent me the chocolate or vanilla for this week. Oh. And so since this is a Netflix show, she made it a Netflix theme.
Bless her heart.
I will fill in for Jen and I'll read them. So the first one obviously is chocolate or vanilla.
Vanilla.
Chocolate. Bird Box or Queen's Gambit?
Queen's Gambit.
Yeah, Queen's Gambit. Also, Jen, I don't really know where you're coming from with this question because Bird Box is just a movie. And Queen's Gambit is an entire series. I'm not hating on Jen, but
don't criticize our intern.
No. I'm not criticizing Jen. I'm just saying that they are uncomparable.
Yeah.
You cannot achieve in a movie what you can achieve in a 12-episode long series. Yeah. Queen's Gambit's solid, though.
What is it? Queen's Gambit, or was the show Halston? It's the new Ewan McGregor miniseries.
Ooh.
About Halston, the designer in the 70s and all that stuff. You probably really like it.
I'll have to check it out.
I binged it the other day. It was really
on Netflix?
Good. Yep.
Interesting. I'll have to, Ewan. Taking it back. Taking it back to Ewan McGregor. Mm-hmm. Roma or Mudbound? These are both neither, okay, so...
I don't think I've seen either.
Oh, I think these are actually both Netflix original movies. Roma was nominated for the Oscar a couple years ago.
Did it win anything?
No, I think maybe it won international film? Maybe. I could be wrong. I don't know. It was all in black and white, though, and it was in Spanish.
Yeah, and what's Mudbound?
Mudbound was, it was actually pretty good. It was a Netflix movie about, like, the South,
okay.
In, like, the old-timey South, like a Mississippi Delta farm, and the Jim Crow South. That's the phrase I'm looking for. And it's all about, like, they are on this farm.
Any actors I know?
Yeah, Carey Mulligan was in it.
Oh, stop.
Mary J. Blige was in it. Yeah, it was pretty good. I would recommend it.
I'm gonna say Mudbound, then, just for Carey Mulligan, because I love her.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I guess I'll say that one as well. The Crown or Bridgerton?
The Crown.
Yeah, I've never even seen The Crown, but I'll say The Crown because Bridgerton...
Listen, I will give it props. It was pretty entertaining. Like, if I had, like, 2 margaritas and I needed something to sit down and watch, I would watch Bridgerton.
I just got too
drunk. A lot of hot sex.
I just got too drunk and then I was walking around the house going... oh, careful, spot of Bridgerton, watching the Bridgerton, and I would not shut the fuck up, and everyone's like, we're turning off this show because you're so goddamn annoying.
No, I love
I just like the girl's little tiny bangs. She has 2 slivers of hair at the top of her head.
Yeah, right.
Those are her bangs, and I'm like, girl, that is a unique take.
Oh, come on. As if there's not girls walking around doing that.
Yeah, true. But that's like, the baby bangs, like, she's taking it to the extreme.
Have you watched The Crown, though?
I haven't. I feel like I should. People tell me it's really slow, but
in a good way. Yeah. I'd say probably, if you're not going to watch the whole thing, at least watch the most recent season.
For Gillian Anderson,
Gillian Anderson, Helena Bonham Carter.
Maybe I should then.
Yeah, I mean, fucking Olivia Colman.
Yeah.
And it's just outstanding performances.
Oh my god. Okay, so this is also weirdly specific if you haven't seen either of these, but Love is Blind or The Circle.
I have no idea what either of those are.
Love is Blind is a Netflix dating show where they are separated by a wall, and they have to date each other, and they can't see each other. Okay. And they have to basically blind date, and then the only way they get to see each other is if they get engaged.
Jesus.
And then once they get engaged, they get to go to an island, and they get to hang out on an island, and then at the end of the show, they're like, okay, now we're gonna marry all of you, and I think some of them were like, we're not going through with this, and then some people, like, break off their engagements, and then I think some people actually did it. They, like, fucking got married. Okay. I didn't watch the show, but I know about it, and then The Circle is so stupid, but it just is kind of entertaining.
Just does it for you?
It's a social media game show where people all are in these little apartments and they create a profile so they can be a catfish and make their profile look like somebody else, or they can make it as themselves, and then they interact with the other players in the game solely through like group message text and like whatever their social media profile is. And then each week there are influencers who get to block somebody. It's so stupid. It's so dumb.
I'm gonna go with Love is Blind because I like the concept a lot more.
I'll go with The Circle because it's also just really stupid, but at least
Is it wonderfully stupid?
It's just stupid.
Okay.
But I have watched both seasons in entirety,
fair.
Dead to Me or You?
Dead to Me.
Yeah,
oh my
totally
God.
Dead to Me.
I love that show.
The Politician or Hollywood?
Hollywood. Oh my God. Oh, hands down. I've watched that like 3 times.
Really?
Yeah. Have you seen it?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
I really liked both of these. I might go with The Politician just because I really liked the Gypsy Rose Blanchard Munchausen's plotline with what's that actress's name? Jessica Lange.
I do
plays
love her.
Plays like the crazy grandma who's like making her granddaughter look sick so they can go to Disney. Like I just
putting paint chips in her food.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah. So I'll go with The Politician for that. Also, Ben Platt's cover of Vienna by Billy Joel, totally
That's
in
fair.
my
That's really
most played songs. Queer Eye or Nailed It?
Queer Eye?
Yeah, I guess Queer Eye. Nailed It is when they make people who aren't professional bakers try to make cakes that look really good, and then they make fun of them when it looks bad. It's kind of stupid.
That sucks.
Yeah. Stranger Things or Orange is the New Black?
Orange is the New Black. Yeah. Oh my God.
I would say that this is controversial, but I would say Orange is the New Black. It was the OG Netflix original show. It came out when we were in like middle school.
So good. I want to rewatch it sometime soon.
Henry had never seen it, and we rewatched it like, I'm going to say a couple months ago.
Nice.
And it was crazy. It was crazy going back to something that I like had only really watched when I was in middle school, and like
and you watch it
holds up for sure.
Yeah, especially like being, because I always watched it like I was very much one of those people like, okay, it came out and I watched the whole season that day. Like I cleared my schedule. I'm like, it's Orange is the New Black Day, okay? Don't talk to me. Don't think about me. I'm just vibing, even watching my favorite show.
The last season came out while we were in college. It was like a year or two ago. So that show it first started airing when we were like literally in 8th grade,
like 5
and then
seasons,
it ended. Right? No,
how many seasons?
Like 10.
No way. It's not 10.
Maybe not 10.
Maybe 6.
Somewhere between
like
5
6.
and 10. Let's take the average. Let's say 7.
Guess.
Let's say 7.
It might be 7. I'm guessing 6.
7.
Oh.
Okay.
Damn.
So we were both wrong.
Huh. Yeah, no, I want to go back and, like, watch the whole thing, like, in a pretty, tight span of time, just to get the...
Ooh, okay, this is the one I already know both of our answers. Narcos or The Get Down?
The Get Down!
You and I are the only two people who watched that show, and that's why it didn't get renewed.
I loved that show with all of my fucking heart.
I don't even remember what, I think it was Stranger Things. This and Stranger Things kind of came out at the same time, and everyone was all about Stranger Things, and I'm like, no. You guys are sleeping on The Get Down.
The genius of this show.
Jaden Smith is in it.
Yep.
Iconic. Iconic. That kid who was in the Detective Pikachu movie.
Justice something, I think.
He's in other stuff now, too. He's great,
He's in the new Euphoria knockoff. There's
a Euphoria knockoff?
Yeah, I don't know if it's I think it's HBO did it still, but it's flopping right now.
Oh, I haven't even heard of it.
Yeah,
is it like related? Is it like
no, it's not like an actual knockoff. It's just like a cheap ripoff.
Gross.
But like, I guess.
Okay, Making a Murderer or Staircase. These are both true crime documentaries. I
haven't watched Staircase, but I haven't watched either of those, actually.
Making a Murderer is pretty good.
I watched, like, that one about that lady who put the bomb around someone's...
Yes! Evil Genius! I would say Evil Genius is better than
I'm gonna override both of Jen's picks and say Evil Genius, because that one fucked me up.
Staircase is pretty slow. It's basically just this guy's a writer, and he totally killed his wife.
Yeah.
But then he convinces a court that she fell down the stairs, and then later they, like, reopen the case, and then they convince everyone that an owl attacked her. He totally fucking killed his wife.
Yeah.
And Making a Murderer is really good, too. I think that was, like, the first, like, Netflix true crime series that really got everyone interested in, like, true crime. We're not even talking about this fucking movie anymore. We're just doing... Okay, the last one. Big Mouth. I think she wrote 3 here.
Okay, good. I don't
Big Mouth or The Great British Baking Show. But then what's this third one? The Whole... Jen has very unique handwriting that is not always...
I don't know.
The Whole Tuna?
Definitely not it.
The Whole Tuta? That definitely says whole. The...
Hold on, let me pull up Netflix really quick, really fast, speed.
Maybe these are just notes she has that I can't read. I'm gonna say Great British Baking Show. That show, I'm not gonna say it cured my depression because...
The Whole Truth, I think.
The Whole Truth? No.
I don't know what that is.
Okay, well, I don't know what that is, Jen, so...
Yeah, I liked the first season of Big Mouth, and then it just got a little too weird.
It is very, like, we're gonna draw middle school kids fully nude.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is a little much for me, but I've watched every season as it came out, because I think Nick Kroll is good.
Yeah, they're great.
And
but
I think they try to send some good messages sometimes. As far as, like, cartoons for adults, I'm not mad at it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll go with Great British Bake Off.
Same. It's very wholesome.
I would die for Mary Berry.
As you should.
If she wanted me to surrogate a baby for her right now, I would do it. I would let Paul Hollywood inseminate me, and I would carry the baby to full term for Mary Berry. She doesn't even do the show anymore. I would do it for Prue as well.
Oh my goodness. That was a good round.
Thanks, Jen. She's not here, but she's with us here in spirit. Snaps for Jen. Can we talk about how Yorkie's quadriplegic body had fucking mascara on?
She definitely told Greg, like, hey, my girlfriend's coming. You better do the bare fucking minimum.
He said, he, like, makes a passing comment, and he's like, oh, I talked to her on the comm box. Yeah. Whatever the fuck that means.
But also, like, then she didn't talk to Yorkie on the comm box?
Yeah, I just didn't get it. I was like, so you can communicate, but can you? Only to Greg? Only to your nurse? They made it really
vague.
Yeah. Because, I mean, obviously she has to have a way to communicate so she can say, hey, Greg, I'm a lesbian. Will you please marry me so my homophobic parents can let me die in fucking peace?
Yeah, really.
Oh, also, I did the math of how much it would cost to keep somebody in a coma for 40 years, and it's
she's not in a coma. I mean, she's just has a respirator and she's quadriplegic. So, I mean, like,
yeah, and... I guess, are there people, I mean, I don't want to sound
it's
like
definitely
ableist.
No, it's definitely different than a coma.
Yeah, I suppose. I don't want to sound ableist, but the quality of life there is not a situation, because she pulls the plug on herself. She basically is like, I'm ready to go.
Well, I think she's probably been, like, inching towards that for a while. It's just her parents have been like, you're not going to kill yourself.
To be a quadriplegic for 40 years, you cannot speak, you cannot move, you cannot... Do they really keep people alive for that long?
I'm not one to say.
I don't know, but anyways, it costs $8.6 million to keep somebody alive for 40 years like that. Who's paying for that? Yorkie's parents are paying for that? I don't know.
I couldn't say. My question to you is, what era would you stay in if you had to choose your era?
Well, I've only been alive for 22 years, so I don't have... It's like, you know those girls who are like, I was born in the wrong
generation.
Like, I'm just like, I should have been in the 60s so I could drink a milkshake and say the N-word. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm like, shut the fuck up, because we have it. I'm not going to say we have it better now than anyone ever has in any time in history, because I think that's just up for debate. But, like, bro, I love having an iPhone.
Yeah, really.
I love...
The internet?
Yeah. Shake
really
Shack.
about it. Oh, my God.
Like,
what would I do without, like, my Uber Eats?
Yeah.
I don't even Uber Eats very often, but,
DoorDash? Yeah. They didn't have fucking DoorDash
The
in
convenience of this life that we're living is insane.
So I don't really feel any sort of nostalgia. Like, never would I ever say that I wish I lived in a decade other than right now. Because it's just like, we've got it pretty good. And like, if I want to listen to 80s music, I can fucking stream it on Spotify, bitch. I don't have to go to the record store. I don't have to spend $25 on whatever. I think I would say maybe like the 1830s. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Maybe like prehistoric.
You're like burned as a witch.
Yeah. We are the daughters of the witches. They did not burn. I don't know, prehistoric? Can I be like a fucking huge alligator? Can I be
I
like...
was thinking more like 60s, 70s, 80s,
Can 90s. I be the megalodon? Can I be the world's biggest shark?
Yeah, if they
prehistoric.
If they let you change your body and you're just able to be a megalodon.
I'd love to be a pterodactyl, honestly.
Oh, that'd be really fun.
I guess, I mean, in San Junipero, you can kind of bounce around. Like, I guess that would be cool. But it just seems like they're going to, like, themed club nights, basically.
Yeah.
All they showed was, like the vibe, like, you were basically going to, like, an 80s theme club night.
Yeah, and that was
it. So, I don't really know.
I think I'd pick 80s just because I like the fashion.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I think that would be my most fun part. Her little montage where she changes her outfit a bunch of times, and each one gets fucking better, and then she goes with the Boy Scout cargo shorts. I'm like, girl, you look so hot. But, like, I get that was her whole style.
Yeah. It's your truth.
Ugh. And she like wore the glasses, and she didn't even need the glasses, which then implied that all of your health issues are completely absolved in San Junipero.
Yeah.
If you have vision problems, they are cured. If you have everything, it is solved, cured. You are in the ideal body.
That's really enticing to me. That would be really enticing to you with your...
I'm just, like, constantly in pain. Yeah, that would be nice.
Your long list of health.
Yeah, that would be nice. I just don't understand, then, why they don't upload everyone on Earth to San Junipero. Because this seems to be
they don't want
capitalism-free utopia. Nobody, I mean, the only people we see working, basically, we see a bartender.
Yeah.
Which I could see maybe that as being a job, you rotate with other people, so you work, like, one shift a week for fun, like, maybe, in order to keep the party culture alive.
If you're gonna have, like, a fun job, I'd say that'd be probably... And mind you, I'm not a bartender. Only time I've been a bartender is when we've had...
For fun, like, for pleasure,
we've had musical nights in this basement, and...
You make a sick cocktail, though.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think if it was, like, cash, I would not want to be jobless for eternity, though. I would like to feel like I'm serving some sort of purpose, you know?
I feel you.
Because if all everyone is doing is just partying all the time, like, I don't know. But so then
I definitely feel
it poses the question, like, Kelly is in her car, and she rams into a bunch of road work. Yeah. Is there DPW? There's road work? So are there construction workers? Because if we're just mirroring Earth, and things need to get fixed, and problems need to get solved.
People need to do it.
You're reintroducing the evils of capitalism, and people are going to need to slave away at a job in order to live.
I don't think that you're going to have people slaving away at a job. I mean, like, you've seen, just because, based off of, like, the things that are capable in San Junipero, like...
Yeah, they can change their clothes with a snap of a finger.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the road work was probably just like, we like,
ambiance.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, so I'm like, if all of your health issues get immediately just cured, and everything is great and wonderful, and anything can happen at the snap of a finger, can we just send everyone there?
Probably
can the cloud not handle it?
People do enjoy their real lives.
Yeah, but if you could have the exact life you have now, basically, but you just go to
I don't know if that's the case, though.
But if you just get to go to San Junipero, basically, where you will never age, you will never have a health problem, at the snap of a fingers, you can have almost anything you want. And if you and everyone was forced to just go,
I think
we basically make Earth 2. But in this magical place where everything is easy.
It sounded like there was a lot of constraints placed on, like, the whole idea of San Junipero. Like, there were, like, in the whole thing of, like, Yorkie being, like, they were like, yeah, you need, like, 3, people, like, consenting to it so that people aren't, abusing San Junipero. So I guess, I don't know, people are just trying not to...
I think the whole...
Do you think that it would just crash the system?
Yeah, right? I don't know. Well, also, though, they're uploading every dead person for the rest of forever. That's gonna get fucking crowded.
You'd probably be... You know how, like, Bitcoin takes up, like, a ton of energy to, like, mine Bitcoin?
Yeah.
Could you imagine
San
the energy
Junipero?
that it takes to, like, run San Junipero?
Oh my god, San Junipero is the reason for climate change.
Probably.
People on Earth are dying so that they can just go to fake Earth. Honestly, I don't know. In this situation, I think they should just upload everyone to fake Earth so we all don't have to work.
Weren't you just talking about how...
No, but I would want a job that feels rewarding and fulfilling.
Okay.
Like right now, I really like my job. It feels rewarding and fulfilling to me. It doesn't feel like a burden on my life. And so, like, I would be a librarian in San Junipero just for, like, shits and giggles. Especially if everyone was just vibing. Like, could work, like, 3 days a week as a volunteer librarian. Like, come on.
That's true.
Bartend once a night at fucking 90s night. Like...
That would be, kind of ideal.
I don't know.
Yeah. Speaking of bartending, do you want to talk about what we drank today?
Oh my god, Emily, why don't you talk about what we drank? Because I'm not going to say this is your fault. Because I did give you the A-OK.
Yeah, you gave me the thumbs up. I thought it would be better. We were sadly mistaken. So I thought, keeping on with the theme of having fruity drinks for our fruity month, that we could go and do something with, like, Midori. I was really inspired. We have a bottle of Midori at my basement bar, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna put it to use. And I found this drink, and it's called a Shady Lady.
Which is perfect name, yeah.
Right? Like, if I'm gonna be enticed by a drink, it's gonna be one called a Shady Lady. And so pretty much it's Midori, which is melon liqueur, vodka, no, not vodka, that's a lie, tequila. You use white rum, though, because you...
Tequila kind of scares me.
And then, it's white grapefruit juice and a little bit of citrus, so, like, we use lime juice. And I have a pretty up-and-down relationship with grapefruit juice, and today it was really down. This drink was not great. Dara put it in a good way of saying that it had the same mouthfeel of when you brush your teeth and drink toothpaste.
No, orange juice.
Oh, orange juice.
Yeah.
Fuck.
You're just chug some toothpaste, bro. No,
yeah,
but it had that same kind of, like, back of your throat. Your tongue feels kind of fuzzy.
Yeah,
like,
which I think is just grapefruit juice in general.
Honestly, I'm usually unbothered by grapefruit as a rule, like, in a cocktail. If somebody's like, oh, grapefruit martini, I'm like, sure, whatever. But this was just bad, and right now we both just added more Midori.
And it was
hopefully,
better.
It was a little better, but it's the color of, like, Shrek. It's, like, very Shrek green. And I'm gonna still give it, like, a 2 out of 10.
No,
it's bad.
Like, if someone brought me this, like, and I ordered
if somebody bought me this for free, if I paid $0 for this,
then
which
fine,
I did, I would still be mad at it, because I am. I mean, I still, to be fair, we both still drank them, though.
Yeah. Yeah, so whatever you do, don't drink this. I would give it, probably like a 1 out of 10.
Very bad. But I would say replace it with some other really fun fruity drinks, because there are a couple of scenes at, like, the club at the bar where people are carrying around sort of, like, these, like, big tiki cocktail things. Like, definitely, though, it's a very party vibe movie, and I would go with something kind of like that.
If you want to go simple, though, and stay, like, in the context of the show or the episode, they drank rum and cokes.
Yeah.
And that's really easy, but also not quite a party vibe. Yeah, I mean, if you wanted to do what we did but do it better, you could
or
just
try
have a Midori sour or something like that.
Try this drink though. Try a Shady Lady and get back to us, because maybe there's going to be somebody out there who really likes it. If your favorite cocktail of all time is a Shady Lady, please slide into my DMs and just tell me what you like about it, because I would love to know.
Enlighten us. Maybe our palates are just shit.
What about a snack? What would you eat with this movie?
For some reason, my mind went to, like, food truck foods kind of thing.
Oh.
I don't know why. I could not tell you why.
Interesting.
Maybe just because, like, a lot of this was set in sort of, like, a lively scene. I don't know.
I would
maybe,
say,
like, some tacos.
I'm trying to think,
I have no idea.
Like, what do they feed old people at nursing homes? Like, oatmeal? You could eat some oatmeal.
Applesauce.
You could pretend to be quadriplegic
Stop.
Yorkie, and you could eat your food through a straw. I'm sorry. That's borderline offensive. I don't know. You could eat some what is it? Collard greens? What is, like, warm spinach? When people, like, boil spinach. That seems like an old people food to me.
If someone fed me that even as an old person, like...
Well, I'd be like, send me to San Junipero. Just take me. Do you think they eat there? We see them drink, but we never see them eat.
You know what I think would be good for this? I think just a hot dog.
Just a hot dog. Emily, it's a lesbian film. Oh, but hey. I do like though that this film does represent a relationship with two women, and they openly explain the situation where one of them does identify as a lesbian and the other one identifies as bisexual, and they have the conversation, and it's very out and open, and they put that out there because I feel like a lot of times in media it's like, oh, two girls are together, they're lesbians, which is like not necessarily the truth.
I'm just thinking about what I would want coming out of the club in San Junipero.
A hot dog.
Yeah, like a street hot dog, you know what I mean? Like in New York City, like a dirty water dog or whatever.
We have a friend who, their dad owns a hot dog cart, and today I was at a baby shower, and today Henry had a lot to drink. Well, enough that he cornered the hot dog cart guy, and he was like, hey, do you want to cater our wedding? And he, like, gave him his number. So, who's to say we might be having hot dogs on the big day?
That's outstanding.
I mean, we're planning on keeping it pretty cash anyway, so I think hot dogs might be the vibe.
Okay, so...
yeah, so get a hot dog, I guess. A hot dog or a taco. Whatever is your preference. Yeah, I guess this isn't much of a food.
Do you any ideas?
Totino's pizza rolls.
This is like that SNL skit with like Kristen Stewart, and it's
John Travolta.
No. Nope. And it's just this like housewife, and she's like her husband's watching the big game with the boys or whatever. And I'll have to show you it later, but Kristen Stewart's one of their sisters, and she comes in, and they get really erotic, like, about Totino's pizza rolls.
Honestly, me too, though. The key is that you have to nibble the corner to let all the steam out.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Pro move. And then I guess food and drink, just fucking do whatever you want. What would you follow this movie up with? I guess I would say just watch another episode of Black Mirror.
That's what I was gonna say. You could watch, like, the Black Mirror movie where it's, like,
Bandersnatch is a lot of fun. If you've never done it, it's definitely pretty fun to do with a big group of people, if you have some drinks, if you're all hanging out, because it's, like, a choose-your-own-adventure thing, so you pick what you want the characters in the movie to do, and then sometimes you die and have to start over and stuff, and it's a lot of fun. What else has that actress, like, I feel like after this, she kind of took off, the one who plays Yorkie.
She did, like, Terminator?
She was in that movie, Tully? Was that the name of it? And it was, like, her and Charlize Theron, and she plays, like, a nanny, and maybe they're lesbians? Honestly, I don't know. I could be talking out my ass right now. Clue. But she might be in another...
Oh, wait. No, I have a way better suggestion for a movie.
Okay.
If you want... a movie, and it's sort of on the same basis as like this, where it's not quite a movie, but it is kind of a movie. And if you want something that's like, I don't know, like queer women, and God, what the fuck is the word I'm looking for?
Short, brief gays.
No.
Film.
Space. I'm thinking space or like
gays in space.
No.
Space gays. No. Star Trek.
Sci-fi, like a sci-fi thing. Sci-fi. If you want like some queer sci-fi women, I'd say watch Janelle Monáe's Dirty Computer.
Oh, hell yeah.
I think that's honestly the perfect thing to follow this up with. It's just outstanding.
I'm just fact-checking myself. There is a movie called Tully, where Mackenzie Davis, that's her name, Yorkie, her, and Charlize Theron are both in it. And I don't...
Are they gay?
It says forming a special bond, so I don't know what that could imply. But she was also... Have you seen her? And she was in the 2019 Terminator movie. And
I've seen that photo of her with, like, the short hair, and she's in a tank top. Yeah!
Sexy! Hell yeah. I did not see the Terminator movie, nor do I have any interest to, but Mackenzie Davis was in it, and boy, oh boy, did she look appealing. That's all I'm gonna say.
If I had to watch it, I wouldn't be mad. Just because.
I guess she was also in that movie Happiest Season, which got a lot of mixed reviews. Yep. So I guess we aren't going to suggest it, but I guess it is another LGBT movie with Mackenzie Davis in it if you're really feeling like you want to stick to a certain actress theme, I guess.
Awesome.
And then who do you fuck? And who do you marry? And who do you kill? This is kind of hard, because we really only have the two main characters, and then kind of like a lot of side characters, but I guess instead of narrowing it down, we can just do the whole thing.
I think I'm gonna fuck Yorkie, because I will just rock her world no matter what. The bar is on the floor.
No, but now she's been with Kelly. You think you can one-up Kelly?
No. Yeah.
You got to get in there first.
Yeah, if I got there first. Fine. I'm gonna marry Kelly, obviously. And then... I don't know. I'm gonna kill that guy at
the annoying guy.
No, not the annoying guy.
The video game guy.
Yeah, I'm gonna kill the video game guy.
I was gonna bring him up because I'm not gonna fuck him or marry him. But like, why do you think he was there? Was he just there to like insinuate that she's not straight or something?
I don't know.
Because he wasn't that. He was just kind of like, oh yeah, you like Miss Pac-Man? Me too. Want to hang out? And she was like, no, not really. And then that happened like 7 more times, and then it never became relevant. And I was just like, why the fuck is he there? Just to prove that she's not really interested in talking to him because she's so gay? Like, I don't really know. She's like, yeah, I'm not really here to talk to men. That's not really my purpose. That's not really my truth right now.
I wish I gave off that same vibe.
Yeah. I'm really not here to talk to men.
No.
Well, clearly she wasn't giving it off hard enough because he still tried to talk to her every chance. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna fuck Kelly, because clearly it is so great that people will follow her around for months.
Okay.
I will marry...
Are you gonna say Greg?
Greg. I'll marry Greg, because he clearly has a really great, stable job as a nurse, and he seems so nice.
He does seem lovely.
And he was just ready to just, like, fucking ball out for just a patient. That really tells me that he's caring.
Yeah.
And he seems... I'd let him take me out for at least coffee, you know? Vibe it out and see how we feel. And then I'm definitely gonna kill that fucking annoying guy who kept pestering Kelly.
Yeah.
Being like, this means the world. And she's like, it really didn't mean anything to me. Like, it was really just sex. Like, we can be friends or anything, but please stop following me around. And he continues to follow her around for, like, many more days. And I'm like, bro, take a hint. Which, literally, Yorkie does the exact same thing and does not receive the same sort of criticism. So I guess, you know, there's that. But...
if I had more people to pick from, I would probably kill Yorkie, just because she was really annoying to me. But also, like, I get it, and I can empathize with her.
She just learned how to walk, you know?
Exactly. But, like, yeah, there's nothing more off-putting than being stalked.
Yeah. When people tell you to stop doing something, you need to stop doing it. Yeah, so this was...
that's all I've got.
Yeah, this is a pretty... what out of 10? I'm gonna give it... like, as far as, like, TV and stuff, And I guess I'm just going to consider it as a movie because we're treating it like a movie. I'm going to give it a 7.
I'm going to give it a 6.
Mm-hmm.
6.5.
Yeah. Because it's like, it's interesting and cool, and it's just that Black Mirror thing where it's like, whoa, that's so crazy. Who thought of this? Technology? Is the future going to be scary? Yeah. But this time it was gay, so that was nice.
Just a little added bonus.
Yeah.
Well,
and I think that's all we have. So thanks for listening. We are The Swamp. You can find us on TikTok at The Swamp Podcast. You can find us on Instagram and Twitter at The Swamp Pod. You can email us.
Please email us. That's my favorite thing.
Oh my god, we get the offhanded occasional email of people being like, "Yeah, you beg people to email you on your podcast." So I'm just like, I'm giving in, and it's really great. It makes honestly all of your comments in any sort of capacity really make our days. Even just when people DM us like, "Please watch this movie. I like it." I'm like, they took the time out of their day to talk to me.
They looked up this account.
But yeah, send us an email, theswamppod@gmail.com. We also have a website, theswamppodcast.com, where you can check out our merch. We have merch. We do giveaways each month, too. But if you don't want to wait and if you want to help us start a fund to pay Jen. She works too hard and she is too good for this earth. We would like to at least buy her, like, a nice candle.
Yeah.
We should
If you enjoy chocolate and vanilla, well, we need to be able to compensate Jen.
Yeah, true. Also, if
that whole bit is brought to you by
Jen,
just the genius of Jen.
And if you're ever like in a long car ride or something, definitely play it. If anybody out there plays chocolate and vanilla,
it recently,
it's so fun. If you're just in a group of people, you're like, "What do you like better, spaghetti or tacos?" And then everybody has a lively conversation. I don't know. It's just an easy way to get the ball rolling about things. So if anybody out there is playing chocolate and vanilla, or if you want to like, I don't know, do the ones that we did on this episode, maybe we'll post them somewhere or something. But just let us know. It's pretty fun. It's pretty cool little segment we do here on the pod. But yeah, hit us up on social media. We love to hear from you guys, and thank you for listening.